Very good. So, well, welcome, welcome, and welcome to the craziest semester, summer semester, and welcome to a decision to take 5 units, the highest level, sophisticated, complicated class during iBlink short summer semester. That is a challenge. Nevertheless, a lot of a lot of students before you did it successfully, and I believe you can do it too. This class is also it's sophisticated because it's calculus. It's challenging because that is summer semester, only 6 weeks instead of 17 weeks. And it is also special because it's asynchronous. And it is also special because it's really creative. I would clarify this last point later, and you will figure it out very soon. So those components of the class make this project challenging, sophisticated, and interesting. So the first challenge, I believe that nearly anything in this world, it is always has something, some kind of advantages and disadvantages at the same time. Would you agree? So it always like that. Nothing is perfect, as we know, and we always, when we looking for a job, it's rarely a dream job or perfect job. We need to, of course, we are trying to pick the best possible option, and that's our goal. But we always need to get used to some kind of disadvantages or challenges, and to survive and to adapt yourself. So that is always like that, which is something I believe into. So in this class, not an exceptional in this regard. It has challenges and advantages. So, and the goal of the orientation is to give students, most of whom are not attending this meeting, but most of them, I believe, I hope, will be watching this recording we are doing right now. So what are the challenges and what are the advantages? And then weigh them and make a decision. Maybe it would be a good idea to drop this class tomorrow for some people, or maybe advantages would be attractive enough to overcome the challenges. So let's figure it out, and let me start with the challenges. Challenge number one, it's a sophisticated, complicated navigation through the websites. I'm using plural, not just website, but websites. You will not need to, students will not need to access different websites. They're all embedded into each other. So, for example, and this is the screen you will see under your account. This is a so-called test student screen, not instructor's screen. It's not perfect as well, maybe not exactly as what you see, but almost the same, So whenever you click particular link, it automatically will bring you to another, may bring you to another website. And then the system will, this website canvas will interact with the so-called external tool and agree, and the external tool, another website, will create new account for you automatically, and so on and so forth. So there are at least 3 websites embedded into each other, not counting all the links, like 100 links and references to the textbook, to the YouTube videos, learning resources, homework problems, not counting regular links. So at least 3 big websites embedded into each other. And of course, it's not easy for some people to navigate. It's you need, and every and each student need to make a decision. If it's too hard, unbearable for someone, then what it means that asynchronous class and this class is not good for them. It might be the case. Most students, though, just learn all the navigation by clicking all the links. In a regular semester, it may take a few days to get used to all the navigation passes, but during summer semester, it should take a few hours, like 1 day or so. So navigation is, comparing to regular synchronous classes, not to mention classical face-to-face classes that may use external website just like at most homework problems and some kind of links and additional resources. So navigation is complicated. Let's spend a few minutes and take a look at it. First of all, here's the shortcut and suggestion number 1. So we're talking about navigation. Okay, and we started. Where is time of the recording? Something changed in Zoom. I don't see it. I don't see it now. Okay. That is a challenge. Number next. Okay, so let me, then what? Let's improvise then. Let me use external timer. And Olivia, are you taking some kind of notes?
Me? Not right now.
I'm sorry. Who is
I'm
our volunteer?
I'm taking the notes.
Okay, but I couldn't identify. Who are you?
I'm Paradin.
Oh, no, okay, now I see it. Nice. Okay, so the first chapter of the presentation is about welcoming and navigation through the websites, and it started at 0 seconds and minutes. Okay, so since I don't see the timer, which I expected to see in Zoom, but something has been changed in the system, so we're gonna improvise, and I'm gonna pronounce the topic and time. Okay, so time, well, I don't have timer, I have just clock. So let's put 6:10 p.m. Okay, and remind me please to pronounce the topic and time. We're still talking about navigation, and shortcut and suggestion number 1: not to get lost in all those 100 links and references. Just use how, what, where. So the next topic is how, what, where, and the time is 6:18 p.m. reference time. So let me click on it and check if it works first of all. Open a new tab, one more click then. And here it is, how, what, where. And the idea is, don't be confused. Whatever you need to find out about the class website, it is here. Or maybe if not 100%, then 99.9%. Everything is here. So, for example, how to quick start the course. Click the link and figure it out. Let me click it. 1, 2, 3. Find out everything about website here, and then use calendar, class calendar, to see all the due dates and all the assignments. How to find out calendar? How, what, where? And the number 3 ingredient of the recipe. Excuse me. That's forum, class forum. How to find forum? Refer to how, what, where all the time. Where's the forum? Let me see. Homework, how to find homework? It's here. Here's the reference. Class forum. It might not be that easy to find. There are the whole bunch of links, but they're all here. Participation forum. Here we go. L portal. What's L portal? That's a link. It stands for learning portal and then forum. Let's check. So, how to find participation forum? Okay, we need to go back to the Canvas shell, and then remember L portal and then participation. L portal. What it is? So here it is, and this is the calendar, class calendar. And you, as asynchronous students, you have to be able to and confident with website navigation, and you need to be able to experiment, and you need to be able to click on the links, like here, for example. Would you want to see all the 6 weeks of the semester, then extend the calendar and see everything? Would you need to make it more concise to focus on the next parts of the website? So focus on the current week. And what's the current week? It allows us to, it restricts us to minimum of 2 weeks, which makes sense. So those 2 first weeks of the semester. You need more details, click on any date, on any day, and get some details. Get some details of the assignments that are due on this particular date. Okay, so that was calendar, but initial reference was about communication. So L portal, we are here, and then communication, what it is. That's by the way, test student, you'll see your first and last name right here on the right top corner. Otherwise, the appearance of the website is similar. So this calendar, we're not gonna use it, and that's kind of thing that I need to, that is my homework. I probably need to get rid of it. Okay, what do we have under participation? We have announcements, course survey, Zoom. That's the link you are using today to join the online face-to-face session. Online test proctor, that's an important link. We're using, you're supposed to use it. You will be using this link while taking tests, because tests in this class are proctor test. Online proctoring will be applied and will be in use. That's the most important links here. Let's go back to our L portal. So forum, finally, here's the forum. And a lot of people, I hope you did it too, already demonstrated active participation in the forums. It is required why it's required. Good question. What's the answer? Where to find the answer? How, what, where? And also it's also why. So what, do we have anything about participation? Yes, we do, right here. So click on this link. Let me check if it works. It does work. And read the article. Why it's required and what advantages of the participation and disadvantages of ignoring of this requirement. Okay. So yes, as you can see, there are the whole bunch of references and embedded links, a lot of them. It's not usual not usual situation for maybe for classes you were taking before, and you need to adapt yourself. But this is again asynchronous class, and navigational skills and some skills and confidence dealing with the general software is required in this class. And it may take a few hours to get used to all of those links, but that's your choice. That's your choice. That is a challenge which is associated with the class, which has also advantages. Remember, advantages and disadvantages, they go together all the time, all the time. Well, so what next? Let's talk about tutoring. So the next topic in our agenda, tutoring, where to get tutoring help, and the time is 6:26 p.m. for the reference for your classmates. Okay, so tutoring in our asynchronous online class is asynchronous and online. So that's the main resource right here. If I click it, because right now I'm under test student account, it may not work because test student is not complete. Yes, it doesn't work because it's because Canvas is not perfect. They were not able to create testing account which would 100% match with the real student account. So some of the links do not work, but that is a known pitfall. So this link should work for you, and you're welcome to try it and use this pretty useful, pretty accessible tutoring help. Number 2 resource, MATLAB tutoring. This is Lenny College local tutoring. It's not that 24/7 available, but it's a resource. It's not perfect again, but it is helpful. So use this, both of them, whenever you're confused about the content. Well, so some tutoring will be performed on the class forum as well, but forum is a specific topic we're gonna discuss a bit later. So
Professor, can you repeat what like online tutoring is specifically?
okay,
For the notes.
I'm gonna try, but how could I demonstrate it? Test student account doesn't allow to demonstrate this functionality. What can we do? We can improvise. Let me try.
Is it more like it gives you like practice problems as tutoring, or is it like videos? Like what type of format would it be?
I see. No, videos, that is a completely different resource we're going to discuss later. Tutoring is, it's okay, I'm going to switch, if I can, to instructor's account temporarily. and then try to demonstrate this link if it works. So let's take a look. Yes, it works now, and it should work. You're welcome to try after the presentation or right now if you want. So as you can see, you can use this resource, by the way, for different classes, not only for math. So please use it. But where's the math? Mathematics, that's what we need. You are calculus and above. As you can see, well, so they recognize my account, but I don't need calculus tutoring today. So that's what you are supposed to use. So you can work with the real person in real time. You can drop your question. You can review the previous sessions. And from the previous experience, when you click Meet with a tutor, most people, in most of the cases, they reported it takes not too long waiting time, like 10-15 minutes. And of course, while you're waiting, you're not wasting the time. You just trying to prepare for the tutoring session or just doing some homework problems, something like that. So this is tutoring. That's not about videos. Videos we're going to have in a different, they comes from different resources and under different circumstances. We're going to discuss them later. This is actual tutoring, like face-to-face, just online. Okay? I'll take it as yes. So net tutoring or worldwide whiteboard. And Peralta pays for this tutoring service a lot of money. And not a lot of students are using this. Almost 24/7 easily available, valuable tutoring. Please use it. Please use it. This resource. The second resource is MATLAB tutoring, and it should work under, I guess, under student account. Let me switch to student account again, which is looks more similar to what you see. And what happened? L portal, MATLAB tutoring. Let's take a look at MATLAB tutoring. It's here. Summer, 22 hours. They have in-person tutoring, as in our previous life before COVID. And they have to have online tutoring as well. Online tutoring, yes, here we go. It's not 24/7, and they're required to follow the instructions and sign up for tutoring. So please learn the instruction and use this resource as well if you need tutoring. Okay, what next? Let's go back to L portal and talk a little bit in more details about calendar and class forum. Remember, quick start for the class consists of 3 ingredients: how, what, where. That's the link to find everything or almost everything about website. How and where to find any resource on the website, where to find homework, where to find test prep assignments, where to find actual exams. We're doing online class, asynchronous online class. Everything is online and everything is explained right here under this link. Now, the other 2 ingredients for the quick start are calendar and class forum. let's go for it. How to find calendar in class forum? Well, how, what, where? Actually, I did click it already, and it's somehow in my tabs. How, what, where is here. Okay, so let's just as an exercise, let's try to find out how to find class calendar and how to find class forum again. Okay. Class calendar, L portal, and then calendar. And the participation forum, L portal and forum. Okay. So let's go. L portal, this link, I did click it, and it's available under different tab. So this link brings you to learning portal. That's what L portal stands for. And here we go. That's the calendar. So all the due dates for the whole semester. Let's extend it. For the whole semester are here, including final exam. Technically, final exam is available today for you, as well as all the other tests and assignments. It just, of course, it requires, it has some conditions to be satisfied. The final exam will not be available until you'll be done with a bunch of assignments and the test prep, including test preparational assignments. But technically, as soon as you're done with the preps and homework assignments, every test and each of the tests, we're going to have 3 of them, and final will become available. They usually become available earlier than the due dates, and it depends on you when exactly. Okay, but what's the point of the discussion? The point of the discussion is class calendar, and the time right now is 6:36 p.m. 6:36 p.m. So the calendar, class calendar, is located under L portal on the top of the page. Maybe in a couple of weeks we will get rid of this big picture, and the calendar will be available under this link on the left navigation panel to make appearance of the web page more concise. But now,
sorry
yes,
to
question,
interrupt.
please.
We are not able to see what time it is through the Zoom recording.
Yes, I'm not able to see the time as well. I'm just announce the time.
Okay.
Okay, so that's in hope that it will be recorded and posted on the forum. That is all for your classmates. You are the best again. You are here attending not required meeting. You don't need it, but you're doing good job and helping your classmates and earning participation points, by the way, extra credit points. Okay, so class calendar and 6:38 p.m. right now.
I think if you take it off full screen, because right now for the recording, we are not able to see like what time it is. It's not like the amount of time elapsed. It's like what time it is. That makes any sense.
Yes, I appreciate the suggestion. I can do that. I have 4 screens in front of me, and sharing screen, it's not the main monitor, and time, I have time on the other screen. And that is improvisation. I was hoping to see the time inside the Zoom presentation, but it disappears. Something changed on the
Maybe
Zoom account.
Professor, we started pretty close to 6:10, like that's when you hit record. So everything should just be like So like the 6:36 will really just be minute like 26 on the Zoom.
Yes, exactly. So I would ask you, before posting this reference list, I would ask you to recalculate a little bit. So you're right. So the recording started approximately at 6:10. So 6:10 would appear as 0. Because on the video, we need timer, not actual time. Time will be different for each of the students. They will be watching the recording in different times. So, now, for example, it's 6:39 p.m. minus 6:10. So that's 29 minutes from the start of the recording. Does that make sense? Say yes, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but I'm just pronouncing actual time right now. Well, so one more attempt. 6:40 p.m. class calendar is located under L portal, which stands for learning portal, the main link, the main website of the system of the websites in this class. It's located on the top. It is also available under the calendar link on the left navigation panel. And the calendar has all the assignments and all the due dates in it. If you need more details, you click on the particular date and you see those details. Some of the assignments, such as homework assignments and test prep assignments, they might be accessible just from the calendar. That's not the main way to access the assignments, but it works as well. So homework might be accessible from the calendar. Let's take a look at the first one, for example. Find the slope. Well, so this is algebra. This is algebra, but in case if anyone would have trouble with the basic algebra concepts, there is a video solution embedded into almost every and each homework problem. So all the homework problems, or maybe not 100%, but 99% of the problems, they have solutions already. And the homework is interactive. It allows you to attempt problem virtually infinitely many times, or to be exact, about 100 times. So no one needs to attempt one problem 100 times. Usually, a few times, that is just enough. That is just enough to get it, if necessary, reattempt it a few times. But the point is, every and each homework problem does have video solution embedded into it. If a problem does not have a video solution, it means it is similar to some other problems with the solutions embedded into them. Okay,
Professor.
so let's go back. Question.
Yes, this is Denise Guerra, and I saw within the syllabus under test taking procedure that we can attempt any test, including the final, anytime 24/7 during 1 week window. So during that week, we are allowed to attempt the test as many times as we need.
Well, so that is more about regular semester. Summer semester will be slightly different. So, and I didn't change exactly the wording because of a couple reasons. Because not just because I'm so lazy, but because the class is so flexible. So formally, you can have the whole week to attempt a test. But actually, it might be hard that most people probably would not be able to do so, to accomplish all the assignments, so that have the whole week for a particular test. So the point is that class is super duper flexible, and the due days here, what you see in the calendar, they are not written in stone, and they more like a cut-off time. So you are always can access any test earlier. It takes, of course, some effort to accomplish all the prerequisites, all the required assignments before the test will appear accessible for you automatically. For example, test one is due next week, in the middle of next week, June 22nd. So to make it available, to unlock test one, you need to accomplish test one prep assignments, 3 of them. That's different topic. We're gonna hopefully gonna have time to consider to visit the test prep section on the website a bit later. But the point is, test one becomes available as soon as you're done with the prep assignments, 3 of them, 3 practice tests, kind of. So then you might be done with the test prep assignments on this date or on the same date when the test one is due. That's up to you. On some people might be done with the test prep assignments earlier. You know, all the homework assignments in the first quarter of the semester of calculus, that's mostly about algebra and advanced algebra. Some people will be done with all these homework assignments, might be done in a couple days. Then a day or a couple more days for the test prep assignments, then they will have 1 week to attempt test one or to revisit the test prep assignments to get more confidence before taking actual test. So the class is flexible, and the test might be available to attempt anytime, 24/7, day or night, regardless of time zones or preferences or work schedule people may have.
We have a
that-
question.
There's the flexibility. Just a moment. But regarding the whole week availability, that is depends on you, and the summer semester is really compressed, and most likely most people will not be able to to accomplish all these assignments.
Yes, the window of time would be like a more personal situation. But regarding,
That's correct, yes. And more likely, it will be like a few days for people who can manage time and can work in advance. And a lot of people, normal human beings, following normal psychology and being under stressful situation, taking the responsibilities and having responsibilities, work or multiple jobs or family responsibilities and so on and so forth. So they will be taking the test on the last day. That is also the reality. So that is more personal, and that is also under influence of the specifics of the summer eye-blink semester. Did I answer the question?
oh, the question was more focused actually, and if we have a limit of attempts after we have access to the test. Like, yeah, we have access to the test. We have completed all the homeworks, the test
Yes.
prep.
Okay. Yes. Yes. I remember. So I think there were two questions in one, and that is the second one, and that
Yeah.
is important one.
Have a limit of
So
attempts.
here's the answer. So how many times? What's the limit? How many attempts would a student have to attempt a particular test? That's the question.
Uh-huh.
So how many attempts on the test do we have? That's the question, and time is 6:49. So here's the answer.
Is it
We're
one?
gonna visit test prep section first, because the answer is there. So please read all the instructions. Test 1. The test prep section consists of 3 parts, assignments: A, B, and C. So they are available right now. Okay. So the test 1, practice A, just read the instruction. It does have all the questions that may appear on the actual test. In this class, we have no surprise or no surprises policy, testing policy. All the questions, all of them that may appear on the test, they are here in this assignment. And you have unlimited attempts on each of the questions. Then the practice B. What's practice B? Practice B, it requires you to accomplish the previous practice test with at least 60%, with at least F grade. Otherwise, it's not available. There are some reasons for that. So I do want people to work on all the questions before taking chances and playing games with the test prep assignment. So, but this test practice B, that is actually a test. It looks like a test. So practice A has no time limits, no actually or virtually no limits on number of attempts. And it looks like a homework, this one, just like a homework assignment. By the way, most of the questions in this practice test A come from the homework. And a few questions, creative questions, they are new, but you have unlimited attempts on them before taking actual test. Next, practice B, that is actual a test, which is similar to the actual test. All the questions in practice B come from practice A. And practice C, it is also practice test, and it is the closest one to the actual test. And you have virtually unlimited number of attempts for practice B and test practice C as well. But you cannot, students cannot work on particular questions only. You cannot pick particular questions. That is the test, the whole thing. You need to attempt that. It works, just read the instruction. It's just designed more for time managing practicing. Content, it's more here in practice A. You can see all the questions, you can attempt them virtually unlimited number of times. Practice B and practice C, those are tests that look, they have time limit, almost like actual test, to get prepared for the actual test. And you have, again, virtually unlimited number of attempts. After that, and here's the answer comes for the initial question, how many attempts on the actual test? The answer is 1 attempt, only 1. but the actual test is the same, not more than similar to the practice tests, and you have unlimited attempts on the practice tests. So students are asking pretty often, can we redo the test? Can we reattempt the test? And the answer is reattempt the test before taking the test. Unlimited number of times, and most of the students, they are doing this job perfectly. They get more than average A's in my classes, more than average in the whole Peralta. That is the truth, proved fact, because we have in this class no surprise testing policy. It's not easy though to get prepared. There are a whole bunch of questions. Some of them are creative, some of them are that creative that online solvers cannot solve them. And some people, usually some small percentage of students, they are trying to post some of the questions to Chegg website or similar websites. That is also will be a problem for them, because those creative questions, they have embedded some kind of invisible identification. So if someone, and all the questions, by the way, they will be individual for each of the students. So that is another story. That is about proctoring and creativity, but it should not erase the greatest advantage that this class does have. Some advantages. One of them is no surprise testing policy. It works for most of the students. For the majority of the students, you can attempt the test before taking the test infinitely many times, unlimited number of times, because the actual test will be almost exactly the same, of course, with the alternating numbers, data, of course, but the exactly same types of the problems as in practice C, and exactly same problems as you can see in practice A, but they will be randomized, and you need to work on the practice assignments diligently and carefully, responsibly. Then you will not have problems to succeed on the actual test from the first attempt. That was the answer for the question, how many attempts you would have, students will have on the actual test. Only one attempt, but the actual test is no surprise test. You can see all the questions, you can solve all the questions, you can use your notes, you can use your cheat sheets on the actual test, and it works perfectly for the majority of the students. I'm done. I hope I'm done with the question. Otherwise, ask some questions to clarify
Yes,
something in more
question.
details.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we're good. So let's move forward.
Professor,
What is the time limit for our actual test?
Yeah. So what is the time limit for the actual test? That's the next topic to consider, and time is 6:58 p.m. What is the time limit? I'm gonna try to answer. Not
So how many questions are on the test? Is there like a set number of questions, or is it like where it varies?
okay. So here's the I have two answers for this one question. The first answer is generic answer. The generic answer is to find out how actual test will look like. How many questions? What is the time limit? What kind of questions? To find out that kind of answers, the best way to find out all of that information is to work with the practice assignments. With the practice assignments, because as it was mentioned, no surprise testing, it includes everything. It means, for example, test 1 practice C will have almost, if not exactly, the same number of questions, almost, if not exactly, the same time limit, and the same questions, not, but keep in mind randomization. So all the students will get different questions, but they all come from the same set of questions that you will find here. So the generic answer, the best answer is to find out all those details about actual test. Take a look at all 3 practice assignments, and then you will not be surprised on the actual test at all. You will not be surprised at all. You will know everything. So how many questions consider the same as in practice C?
And are
What's the time limit, or less maybe even? What's the time limit? The same as in practice C, or more, maybe a little bit. So that is my answer. Exact numbers, for some reason I don't want to pronounce because I don't want people to get relaxed at the beginning of the semester. But most of the students, they reported that they had enough time to solve the test second time in order to compare the answers and to avoid any misprints and technical mistakes, to catch mistakes and to fix them before submitting the test. Can you imagine that? So the most people who were working diligently and responsibly on the practice assignments under no surprise testing policy, they had time to solve the test 2 or even 3 times. Okay, so the actual numbers, how many minutes and hours. So let me keep this secret for now. So you can unlock this secret by working with these assignments. And I suggest to start working on them to accomplish all the homeworks and start working on the practice assignments as early as possible. As early as possible. So, and what you see here on July 20th, test prep starts. That's the cutoff time. So people who will not be able to start test prep on that day, 2 days before the actual test is due, they are kind of in trouble. Or they might be okay, but I wish you would be better than okay.
Excuse me.
So that was an attempt to answer the question: how many questions and how much time you would have on the actual tests. So you have approximately the same or less questions than on the practice test. You have approximately the same or a bit more time than on the practice tests. I don't want to pronounce exact numbers.
And are all the practice tests necessary or required?
So they are necessary and they are required. The actual test will not be unlocked, will not be accessible if you're not done with at least 60% outcome on all of the practice tests. 60%. So if a student is not able to accomplish practice test with the F grade, sorry, then no reason and no sense. Then this student doesn't need to attempt actual test. And
okay, thank you.
This student will get an F for the actual test. So to unlock actual test, students are required to accomplish 3 practice assignments, test prep assignments with at least 60% outcome. Therefore, test prep assignments are required. So most of my students in my
Okay, and do we-
classes, excuse me, most of the students, they are trying to follow this suggestion to accomplish all three test prep assignments with 100%, not 60. Because
Okay.
that will allow you to succeed on the test from the first attempt, actual test, with no stress, with guaranteed A outcome.
Okay, and do you need proctors for all the tests? For all of them or any of them?
Sorry, couldn't hear you well. Say it again.
Do you need proctors for any of the tests, including the final?
Proctors. Yes, proctoring will be required. Would you like to make it next topic of the discussion? Let's accomplish the previous one. If you don't have any clarification questions regarding number of questions on the actual test and time, then let's consider it's
I have
done.
a question, just really quickly about
Yep.
how you said there's 1 week to complete the test. Does that mean the week of the test, like say it starts on the 20th, like that's the day of the test? Or does it start the day that you do the test prep? So like, let's say you do test prep on the 14th and then you have a week to do it after.
Second answer.
Okay, thank you.
Second. So the actual test will be available as soon as you will be done with 3 test 1 prep assignments. Whenever you're done with those 3, and done means actually 60%, not recommended though. So most students, they're doing 90, 100% on the practice assignments. So if you're done on 19th, then immediately the actual test will become available here on this date, and so on. If you're done with the test prep assignments a week before the actual test, then you have a week.
Got it.
For
Thank you
test
so
1.
much.
Okay, any other questions regarding testing procedures?
So no matter what, the test 1 is due on Wednesday the 22nd, right? No matter when you start.
Yeah, that is also almost true because of the flexibility of the class. Yes, no matter what, it's the flexibility. It happens before the actual cutoff time, before the due date. After the due date, during the summer semester, we cannot be flexible. It's not flexibility; it's irresponsibility. We cannot play games with the due dates during summer semester. It doesn't work well. It just the way to fail the class. But on the last day when test 1 is due, you do have so-called late pass. And some people will be using this. You have 10 late passes for all the homework assignments and all the tests, including final. You can extend even final for 24 hours. It might be 10% punishment applied though. So not suggested anyway. Not suggested to use late passes, but they are available. So, and the exact technical answer is test 1 is due on June 22nd, but you can extend it for another 24 hours. So that was, by the way, some kind of question and answer regarding late passes, late pass policy in the class. And the time was 7:07 p.m. So students have 10 late passes. They can extend any homework assignment and even any test, including final, for 24 hours. During regular semester, that is usually 48 hours. During summer semester, that is 24 hours. And it might be 10% penalty applied in this case. So try not to use this flexibility at all, late passes. That is my suggestion. But sometimes life happens, of course, and sometimes some people have no choice and use late passes and still are able to succeed in class and even get an A. Sometimes, but not 10 times. And not just maybe couple times if you get some really challenging life circumstances. There is such a functionality. There is a late pass possibility for all the homework assignments and even tests and even final exam.
Can you use more than one late pass on an assignment?
No, for each individual assignment, only one late pass and only 24 hours. 24 hours, by the way, the counting starts from the due date. So for example, test 1 is due on June 22nd, midnight. No matter when you click late pass, not you, but generic you. So any student, if the student click late pass for test 1, it doesn't matter. It might be a few minutes before midnight, a few minutes after midnight, or the day after midnight. So the test due date will be extended for 24 hours starting from June 22nd midnight, not from the moment when a person clicked the late pass button. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Late pass can also be applied for tests and the final, but what about the online proctoring? Because
yes, it might be applied even for the tests and even for the final, which are required to be done under online proctoring.
yeah, so what would happen if we are using the late pass for a test and the online proctoring already happened like a day ago? Because I'm thinking we are going to be required to enter like the Zoom meeting for the online proctoring, and it's going to be
the procedure will not be changed. The procedure is described in a separate documents. Let it make, it's happened to be too long story. So let's split the presentation into separate questions and considerations. So let's talk about let's make it a new topic. So let's talk about proctoring, online proctoring, a little bit. So online proctoring requirements and procedures, 7:12 p.m. Online proctoring. Let's go for online proctoring. So how it works? How? Where to find the link to click on it? You know what I mean? Yes. How, what, where? How, what, where? That's the answer for almost all the questions students may have. So online proctoring. Proctoring of the tests, right here. It says L-Portal Communication Online Proctor. L-Portal we have here. Communication, next link to click on. I did click it, it might be somewhere already, it's here. And then online test proctor. So what it means in short, there is a instruction that describes in all the details the testing procedure. But in short, whenever you take a test, you go through those links and click online test proctor, and then start the test. So that's technically that's the shortcut for the procedure, test proctoring procedure. That's it. In details, well, in details, that's going to be more than that. So this is the exam section. And as you can see, all the tests, including final, they are waiting for you. And they, by the way, will become, when they will become available, as soon as you will be done with at least 60% on this assignment. And when this assignment, practice C, will be available, as soon as you will do at least 60% on the previous, on the test 3 practice C, and so on. So that was about something we discussed already earlier about accessibility and flexibility. But now the question is about online proctoring procedure. Online proctoring procedure. And what you're going to do? You're going to click on the link, and a lot of clarifications and instructions, they are embedded into test prep section and exams section. So you'll see, by the way, all of those in the test prep section. So online procedure, proctoring procedure, how it works. That is how. In all the details.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you know how like we can take the test like any time of the day?
Or night.
Or yeah, or night. So like the online proctoring still works, right? So like even
Yes.
if we say like, I don't know why, but like if I want to take it at like 2 a.m., I can still, it still works, right?
It still works anytime, day or night. And we have students from different states and different countries. Well, I'm not sure about this class, but usually we do have out of state or out of country students in different time zones. And it works all the time. And the online proctoring, by the way, it's really lightweight, simplified, comparing to the regular professional proctoring software. It's rarely the case when online proctor will contact you during the test. That's mostly recording. But just read the instruction.
It says
Just read the instruction.
it says in the instructions that there was a picture that we were supposed to submit. I'm not sure if this is a Peralta thing, but I'm a high school student and I'm only enrolled in this class at Laney. So how do I get around that?
We had a lot of high school students that are using concurrent enrollment advantage to take classes in college. That was not a problem at all. So you may, and you're right, that's a good idea to mention those two required actions.
Got it.
They're mentioned in the calendar, they're mentioned in the first forum. So please, yes, submit and upload your photo ID and identification picture. What it means, click on the links and just read. Photo ID, it might be your school ID. It might be for adults, it might be just student ID or driver license. For high school students, it might be high school student ID, any kind of picture ID. And identification picture, it means, you know, that mostly for adult students, they have an ID from 5-10 years in the past, and or just, you know, people may change style and appearance pretty much, and they might be not even recognizable from picture ID photo. So that's why, but for the proctoring procedure, it should be a way how the proctor may identify might be sure that the person who's actually taking the test is the same person on the photo ID or student ID. So that's
Got it.
why two pictures are required. So that is your current picture, how you actually look like right here. And here is your any kind of photo ID.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So passports would work for the photo ID?
Yes, any passport, including foreign passport. So it's just, well, so foreign passport, but it should be spelled, the name should be spelled the same way as in your Peralta record.
Okay. Thank you.
So that might be a foreign passport which a person was using to enter the country. Most of people, they submit just photo, student ID, and current picture of yourself. So that was about those requirements related to online proctoring, uploading, submitting photo ID and identification picture. And it happened approximately at 7:16 p.m. Any other questions, or may I pick another topic to present?
Sorry. Just one more.
Yep.
So do you schedule it in advance with a proctor, or does it automatically have a proctor for the test?
You don't need to worry about scheduling. You need to worry, the only thing you need to worry is due dates and accomplishing of the test prep assignments. As soon as you finished the test prep assignments, the test becomes available automatically. Then you follow the procedure, the online testing procedure, and follow the procedure and start online proctoring. Just click the link, online proctoring, then click another link and start actual test, and then follow the procedure. Make sure that that you are visible in the proctoring window, that you're not ducking to your notes like that all the time, that you're present in the room, that you are you, not another person who are taking tests. And it works anytime, day or night. Because, why? Because that is the easiest type of online proctoring your instructor was able to find out. And
Okay.
that is less stressful than any other regular proctoring system. But it does have some regulations, rules, requirements, and you need to follow them. Like I mentioned, you need to be visible. You need to be able to manage your equipment. You may use your phone as a camera, and you may use to your laptop or desktop to take actual tests. You're allowed to use notes. You're allowed to use any online resources except online solvers and cheating websites. But some people will do. For that case, in this class, we have creative problems so that online proctors, online solvers will give wrong answers. So that's a trap for the cheaters. So, but those creative problems, they're all of them are available in the test prep assignments. No surprises, except for the cheaters. What was the question originally? I got lost a bit.
Oh yeah, you answered it. It was just if you need to schedule advance for proctors and stuff.
Yeah, no need to schedule anything. So anytime, as soon as you are ready, as you're done with the prerequisites, which are test prep assignments and practice tests. Then whenever you wish, whenever you're ready, whenever you feel better, whenever circumstances allow, some people can take tests, adult people, parents can take only during night, because their kids, they just don't let them to do anything until they go to bed. So some people are taking tests from different states or even countries. So the proctoring system as the whole class is really flexible, and the goal was to make it less, not more, less stressful and more accessible for all the students. So no need to worry about that kind of things, to schedule tests, to worry about proctoring. You need to just perform your responsibilities and do your job. And these responsibilities, they are presented in the instructions. Instruction related to online proctoring. So start with click online proctor link, make sure you are visible, make sure, just follow the instruction, make sure your speakers are off and your microphone is on. If you want to think about it, then you can think why those requirements are presented, but you don't have to. You have to just follow the instructions, and they're pretty simple. Well, not for all the people. Maybe some people who are not that confident with online stuff and browsing and online environment, then they may have trouble. That's why we have different formats to satisfy different learning styles and different life circumstances. So yes, some people may not be comfortable with this format. So then we have synchronous classes, then we have face-to-face classes these days. So we have face-to-face classes, and people, and for a lot of people, it's better than asynchronous or any online class. So we have the choices, and people need to make right choices that would work for them. And any format have advantages and disadvantages, any of those. So asynchronous, we have less communication, instructor student communication. That is disadvantage, obviously, to me. But we have more flexibility. You don't have to spend time to get to college on a regular basis and get back. You don't need to travel, but you do need to manage your time, to be able to manage your time, to be responsible without direct control from the instructor. You need to be independent. You need to manage your responsibilities on your own. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next question.
All right. So I noticed how you said once you have completed all the prerequisites for the test, you can start taking it. However, I also noticed that in the syllabus, if you want to take a test early, there's a procedure you must follow. Do we still have to follow that procedure?
Yeah, so let's ask our volunteers to make a record. So this is the question about early attempts of the tests and requirements and accessibility of the tests. That is actually two questions in one: accessibility of the tests and early attempts. And time is 7:28. 7:28. Okay, so those are two different questions, two different situations. And one of the reasons why the environment of this asynchronous class is sophisticated, because it is sophisticated, because it's too flexible, and because it's too many opportunities allowed. So first, Regular accessibility, not, let's talk about early attempts later, a minute later. Regular accessibility. Any test, including final, becomes accessible for you as soon as you're done with the associated test prep assignments, 3 of them, A, B, and C. 3 of them. As soon as you're done, and done technically means 60% outcome, not recommended though. So most students do 100% to be confident to succeed on the actual test from the first and only attempt, and to get avoid any stress, just to succeed. But anyway, the test technically becomes available as soon as you're done with all the 3 test prep assignments with at least 60% outcome. Test is available. Okay. Now, what it means earlier, it means the first, well, let me go back. The first type of accessibility for the summer semester, it means practically it would mean 3-4 days. 3-4 days. So if you are able to, if you wish to attempt the test even earlier than 3-4 days before the due date, that would be new situation. That's early attempt. So for this case, I require more strict, the requirements are more strict, not 60%, but 100% for all the practice tests is required. 100% is required for the early birds, for the super advanced students. There are some reasons for that, and also it might be required participation. If a person ignores participation completely, most likely the instructor will not allow to take the test earlier. So early attempts nevertheless are available. The requirements are presented in a different instruction, separate instruction, and the requirements are more strict, which is not a problem for the advanced students though. So if a student is advanced and it goes easy for him, for her, for them, so then not a problem to accomplish the practice test with 100%, and not a problem to post a few summaries, to solve a few problems, and to make a few posts to the forum, class forum. So early attempts are available. They have different requirements, a bit more strict, and they are presented in a different instruction, how to take the test early.
And do you need like this discrete permission from the teacher if you want to take it like early?
Yes, in this case, the test will not be open automatically. You will need to send me a message through
Okay,
the
and where
system.
wait, where do I
And,
send you?
Say again?
Where should I send you a message to?
How to send a message?
Yeah.
Okay, so could you answer your question yourself? How? Here's the tip. How?
Oh,
How to send a message? Do you feel what I mean?
Can I
So
answer
how,
this?
what, where? How, what, where? So let's see. How, what, where? How to send a message to the instructor? Let's say I forgot. How to
If you scroll all the
find
way
out.
down, there is the how to
You see?
attempt a midterm final.
Private messages. You go L portal messages and send a message to the instructor.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Another question, it's kind of related. Say if I wanted to take the test 1 tomorrow, we haven't technically done any forms yet. Does that mean I am not allowed to take the test yet?
We have not done what?
Have we done any forms?
Forms. Oh, yeah. Well, so is it really tangible, real situation? Do you really want to take the test one, the first quarter test tomorrow?
My body is ready.
Okay, okay. Well, so the flexibility of the class and the instructor are not infinite. So we do have some limits. It's limited. So maybe I did exaggerate the flexibility of the class and my own abilities. So we do need, this is a community college. I'm trying my best to make the course flexible, and I feel like it might be the most flexible around in the whole system, but it's not infinitely flexible. So I still need to follow. It's still a junior community college, and most of the time instructors spend working with struggling students, not advanced students, fortunately and unfortunately at the same time. So we cannot to do whatever advanced students want or are ready for. So there are some limits, but there is a flexibility pretty much, if you agree, I would agree, in this class, in this syllabus, in these settings. So yeah, so tomorrow, if you didn't post the whole bunch of forum publications, you will not be allowed to take the test. So you would need to wait a couple more days and demonstrate your advanced skills and help someone, some of your classmates, because a lot of them will be confused about navigation through the websites, about due dates, about virtually everything, and about homeworks, and which are mostly from algebra, reviewing algebra topics. And moreover, all the homework problems, they have solutions, video solutions embedded. Nevertheless, people will be confused. Nevertheless, people will ignore the suggestion to use online tutoring, and hopefully they will post their questions to the forum, and hopefully you will be able to answer some of them. And that's the way to satisfy the early test requirements.
And early test requirements only like if you want to take it like 4 or 5 days earlier, right?
Yes, that's right, and that usually works better. A more common situation. It works anyway, but it's more common situation for the regular semesters, not for the summer semester, because during summer semester, I blink. It's just crazy. And even if a person is a super advanced, it's still almost impossible to take a test. If the quarter it's just 1.5 week long, it doesn't really possible or make much sense to take the test 1 week earlier. It's just not possible. Or even if it's possible, sometimes when a particular student, for some reasons, some people just took calculus, took a particular class somewhere and in the past, and for some reason they take the class again. For some reason, well, so that may happen. They might be ready to take final right now, So then, well, so that would be limitation for them. So as I mentioned, this class and this system is not infinitely flexible. And it's a community college. That's not a college for a particular individual. That's not the case. We need to satisfy requirements. We need to serve all the students. So therefore, there will be some kind of limitations for the advanced students. But approximately, yes. If it's the case, then you can take the test regular situation. It would be like 3 days before the due date. If you want to take it 4 or 5 days, that's the that's the situation of early attempt of the test. Then you need to satisfy the early test requirements, testing requirements. Did I answer the question?
Yes, you
Yeah.
did. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
You're welcome. So, what else? I feel like we're almost done because of 2 reasons, or a few reasons. One reason is it's virtually impossible to go over all the details. But in this asynchronous class, students are supposed to, are required to be able to click the links and to read the instructions. And not to get lost, not to get confused, there is a simple shortcut mentioned earlier. It appears on the homepage, Canvas homepage, Quick Start. And if you remember, if I click it, I did click it some time ago, it says how, what, where, find everything, how to do something on the website, what a particular link is responsible for, where to find particular resource. It's all here. That's number 1. Number 2, class calendar. How to find it? It's also here, how to find it. And you go to L portal, and then you'll see the calendar with all the due dates and all the assignments. And number 3, forum. How to find forum? It is here. You go to L portal and then forum. Excuse me again. So that's the quick start and shortcut, how not to get lost, and how to start this asynchronous course, and how to deal with the sophisticated structure of the course. So it will take a few hours, maybe a few days to get used to it. Then you would not need this reference list, how, what, and where. You'll get used to it. It will take individually, maybe a couple hours, maybe a couple days, but every time when you forgot something and if you don't know how to find out something, it is here. The answers are here. Okay? Online tutoring is available and recommended. It's available. It is here. Syllabus, of course. Read syllabus. It's your job contract. You need to know that. What's meaning of the most important links are also presented on the homepage on Canvas. What else? We did go over all those links, and on the L portal we did discuss the calendar, communication, intro, and syllabus quiz. Those assignments are mentioned in the syllabus. They are required. They have due dates right here. due dates. They are pretty basic. So syllabus and navigation quiz, you need just read syllabus and answer a multiple choice questions. Intro assignment, that is how to enter symbols into the system to be able to work on your homework. Those assignments pretty basic, so you need to figure them out and accomplish them. If it would happen to be challenging, then it might be a good idea to drop the class, because further in the nearest future, the content of calculus will be much more sophisticated. So you just need to be able to do that. Homework assignments are due and mentioned here. Most of them in the first quarter come from algebra. And moreover, all the solutions are embedded into each or almost each of the homework problems. So it should be doable. And it was doable for the majority of the students that who took the class before you. What else? Forum we did. I did click it. We did review the forum. Learning area, test prep, we did it. Exams, we did it. Resources, explore it on your own. Click and explore. Learning area. What's learning area? How, what, where. But let's visit. That's the last section we did not visit explicitly. So let's do it. How to organize your work. Read all the instructions. Module A. It consists of each module has the same or similar structure. The textbook link is free and pretty good one. A bunch of videos related to this module and this topic or topics. And these videos might be different from those which are embedded into the homework assignments. So they are recommended. A lot of people ignore the textbook and they can survive. They rely more on the videos. That's possible, not recommended though. So all of those resources are recommended. Text again, link, videos, and this is the first homework assignment. Whenever you see due date and use late pass, this is the homework assignment. And then the next section, the next topic in the textbook, related videos, the next homework assignment. That is the structure of the learning area. That is the main learning resource. The textbook here, the videos, and homework assignments. That is learning area section, and it has specific structure. Each module may include a few sections of one chapter, and sometimes a few sections from different chapters. All these modules, they are mentioned in the calendar as well. In the calendar. And for example, module A, B, and C, what are they? You can go to learning area, click on the modules and see all the resources. What are those homeworks? Those homeworks are exactly the same that you will see in the modules. So those are not actually module A, B, and C, and all those homeworks, they are not different assignments. They are the same. They're the same. And pretty much it for the learning L portal. And communication section. Announcements that students are supposed and required to read regularly. Course survey, I'm asking students to provide their opinions multiple times during the semester, and always ask all the students to provide their reviews at the end of the semester. That's why I have a lot of reviews. And if you did read, and not all of them on the how they call it, ratemyprofessors.com. Not all of them there. Not all of them. Most of them, some of them on different resources, some of them here. I prefer this one because it allows you to provide suggestions, not just good instruct, good or bad. Take his class, don't take his class. I prefer to have extended reviews with your opinions and suggestions. I learn from them. Okay, but I guess it is also kind of an international educational requirement, relatively new, to ask students to provide opinions and reviews on a regular basis. That's why students get used to it during the semester, and then that's why I have a lot of reviews. And some of the angry birds on the of the students who provided negative reviews or suspicious bird, they say something like, "Oh, that's suspicious. All the reviews are fake because they appear on the same dates." Of course, they appear on the same days because I ask students to provide reviews on the same days at the end of the semester, mostly. Okay, that was sad and funny at the same time, but the point is the main links on this section are Zoom, that is how to join face-to-face online session, online test proctor, that's important link. All the others, not that important. We may discuss them during class forum discussions. And most of the students, honestly, they prefer their own Discord gathering or any other, and that is okay. That is okay. So yeah, that was all I wanted to present. That is more than enough for the first introduction. Let's consider your final questions, if any. Any questions?
How often will the forms be?
Approximately, and it that is again, that is how question, right? So you may go to how, what, where, and find the link related to participation, click on it, and you will see the exact particular directions. Approximately, it's 3 posts per week. 3 meaningful posts, not just to say hi or to say thank you or to make a joke, which is okay, which is actually good. But to provide some input that should be math related, content related post. It might be something like summary or your cheat sheet that you may share because everything is open in our class on the tests. So people usually work, and that is a good idea, work on their own summaries and or short summaries, cheat sheets, and then post them. And that is a good way to earn extra credit and to satisfy participation requirements, and that is the good way to help your classmates. Or when your classmates will be confused about particular problems from the homework, solve them. Solve those problems, a few problems. Provide your solution, show your style, and show your ability to use formula editor, ideally, but not, it's not necessarily, not required, or just provide a solution in clean and neat format. It might be handwriting, preferably using a formula editor, preferably using color coding, so that it would be not just chicken scratch of a genius, just solution. It should be solution should be presented as a kind of short tutorial, so that people who are struggling with this problem might get some at least partial understanding from your solution. Does it make sense? So participation, it should not be a problem. Some people, unfortunately, they turn this into a problem, into a conflict with the instructor, which is not a good idea, to have a conflict with the instructor, with any instructor. So please read participation matters document, where to find it, how, what, where, link. And there are the whole bunch of ways to participate, creative ways. If you are super duper advanced, if it's boring, everything boring for you, okay, publish the first chapter of your PhD work. Or something, solve creative problems beyond beyond the course curriculum. I will count it. It will be fun. I'll count it as your participation. But the whole bunch of regular, normal, creative, and doable ways to participate is presented in the participation matters document. More questions? Are we done?
I have a question on where to
Please.
put the notes,
Yep.
like how I would upload those to the forum, because I don't know how to
Yes,
start a
the
new
question,
forum.
7:56 p.m. Question about using notes on the test and uploading those to the forum.
Oh,
So,
not
yes.
for the test. I mean the notes I took for the orientation.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that is also a good idea. So I did ask, well, so what, sorry, so let's figure it out exactly. What kind of notes? You mean the notes, the topics, and associated time of the recording?
Yes.
Yeah, so that what was, that what I was asking about. You did it. That is perfect. Yes, please, just formalize them a little bit, like the time should be time of the video recording. As we agreed, it's kind of actual time minus 610, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, and then post those your notes to the forum, and they will be helpful because the recording happened to be pretty long, you know. It's 2 hours. We did work 2 hours. Thank you for your patience. And it a lot of people might be just discouraged. They will not learn anything about the class because the recording is too long. And that's the case. But if they will have those notes, that would be helpful. That would be helpful, and they will most likely, most of the people will be interested to get answer for a particular question. So yes, please post those your notes to the forum, and thank you very much for that. And that is the great way, of course, to participate and get extra credit, participation points as well for you. Questions?
I was confused though on how to actually start a new forum, or would I not start a new forum?
I see. That is actually pretty simple. How to start your new forum? You don't need to start new forum. You just need to use existing one. So you go to L Portal, as I hope you can see. How to participate, how to start new form. Here's the answer, and time is 6:59. How to participate, and do you need to start new forms or not? Here's how to participate. You go to L portal, click forum, and you'll see here particular topics. Q1 stands for Q1, the first quarter of the semester. And there will be two forums related to the first quarter. Click ideally on each of them and do something. For example, click on this one, and you can see and read all the posts from your classmates, and you can reply to specifically to a classmate. For example, for this one, that's the post that assumes, as I feel, that you might want to post something supportive and share with similar feelings maybe, or support in some other way. You click reply and answer to a particular person. Or in general, if you want to create a new post, it goes through, you see, hit reply on the top right and go ahead. So you reply to the instructor's initial post. That is how you create your own. Okay? Did the question answered? Was the question answered?
Yes,
not?
thank you.
So just click reply to the instructor's post to create your own, unless you want to answer to your classmate. Then you click reply next to the person's publication. That's all you need.
Wait, and replies are worth just as much as like regular posts, right?
Correct. So you don't need to, in some forums, and that was, I did use different settings for the forums as well. There is such an option to create your own thread, new thread. So each student, but it just didn't work. It just didn't work. So people who post that kind of stuff, which is encouraging, it's good, but they created new thread for each of the publications of that kind. It turned to complete disorder, the whole forum. So we don't need this. We don't need disorder. So you can post whatever you want just through the reply button. So all those people did that. All those people who posted all these publications, they just did click reply right here, following the directions, the prompt right here, and posted whatever they feel they need.
Okay, and so it just needs to be 3 posts in total. It could be like a combination of both different forums for the week, right?
Correct. It's just for the week, but we don't have, for the summer, we cannot have weekly schedule. We have slightly different organization, slightly different formats, like 1 week and a half. That's the first quarter. Then there will be second quarter, Q2, then third quarter, and so on. So it's kind
Okay,
of,
so-
but still, you can recalculate. If 3 posts per week, then how many posts per 1.5 weeks? 4, 5.
So it's 3 posts per like
So wait.
quarter, basically.
3 posts per week, yes. But this week, The second week, for example, it consists of half of the week, that's the first quarter, and second part of the week, that's the second quarter. But it's still 1 week, so you need to post something into the first quarter and into the second quarter. For example, 1 post here and 2 posts there, or the other way around.
Okay.
So,
That makes sense. Thank
and
you.
also it might be a good idea actually not to count the posts. So do a little bit more. Just think about it. You are allowed to post your summaries and cheat sheets in preparation for the test, any test. You're supposed to. You will be preparing for the test anyway, right? Say yes.
Yeah.
You will
So
be
you can also
preparing
post,
your
like-
summaries and cheat sheets. You will be solving practice problems. Then post some of them, and you're done. So no need to waste your time. That's not additional time. That's just the same time to get prepared for the test. And you don't need even to help your classmates unless you want to. You can do that. Also, many people do, and that would be appreciated. Why not? When you solve something for someone, when you try to explain something to someone, that helps you. No doubts, that's the proved learning strategy. And you just might want to help and other people. That might be also the case, right? So that's not going to be a problem. Participation, not going to be a problem.
For the posts, is there a minimum word count that we need?
I'm sorry, couldn't hear you well.
Oh, for the posts, is there a minimum word count, or do you not look at word count?
Well, I would suggest again to read attentively the participation matters document, and you will see all the suggestions and possibilities, all the ways how to and what might be posted, might be considered as good topics and good ways to present your publication and to present your input. There is no such requirement like number of words. Some of the students in some of the reviews said he requires at least 300 words in each post. There is no such requirement. It comes from, I don't know, from ceiling, from the imagination of this person. There was no such stupid requirement. So some posts might be just a few rows of formulas. Some posts might be more wordy with a citation of famous individuals, scientists, something encouraging. Some people just like to go for philosophical topics, and it might be interesting and encouraging. It's also acceptable, but it's not required. So we're doing math, and mostly what is expected might be done is summaries and cheat sheets in preparation for the exams. It might be solving problems for your classmates. It might be just solving creative problem on your own. Even no one is asking to solve, but you might solve it and present in a nice and clean presentation. It might be handwriting, you might use color coding. It should look digestible. It should look attractive, not just like scratch paper that no one would want to waste time to comprehend. It might be a lot of things, just a lot of things. Just read the document, participation matters.
I see. Thank you.
No specific and no stupid requirements. How many words? And it should be some valuable content, math-related content. In most of the cases. Sometimes it also might be just not that math-related content, but something encouraging, something that would ease the stress before the test. That is important. We're human beings. We're doing math, but we're not computers or robots. So if and you will see that kind of posts, or you may make some of them. That is also considered to be participation, but it's hard to describe, to define exactly what is encouraging, what is not, what would be considered like valuable income, what is not. It's not easy, but that's the case. You have an instructor who is in charge and who will be grading all of that, but most likely at the end of the semester, and not for all the people, but only in case of the shaky grades. So if you get A+ at the end of the semester, you don't need any extra credit. I hope you will not regret your participation though, because your participation will be helpful for yourself in terms of preparation for the exams, in terms of deeper understanding of the content. It will be helpful. And in terms of helping another people, your classmates, it will be appreciated. So in case you will need some boosting of your grade from B+ for A, for example, so this participation will help. And that is one of the reasons why the class designed this way. So participation is not for nothing. It's for a bunch of reasons. It's suggested and proved effective learning strategy for all of the participants, for advanced and for struggling people, students. It's helpful in calculating grades and make the grades favorable in your favor. It is helpful for creating positive environment in the whole class. So participation matters. Participation matters, and don't doubt, please. So please support the class settings and requirements. Read participation matters and how and why and how to participate. Pick a few out of the whole bunch of ways of participation and provide your input. You are taking classes in a community college, so we need to be in that community. We need to provide our input into the community. That's another reason, by the way, and it's also a serious reason because we don't have funds like a private university, you know. So but at the same time, we have the best students and good instructors as well, and it's a proved fact because all or most of the majority of the students who are transferring from our college or colleges, they succeed in the big universities. That's the proof. We have a good system here. We have the best smart students. They're taking classes from the good instructors, and they have good outcomes before and after transferring. So the community does work. And what? Participate. Provide your input into this community. Do not reject, do not ignore. That's the logic. I hope you would support this logic, not otherwise. More questions? Are you still here, people?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm out of
you know
questions.
what? Question?
No, I'm out of them. No more.
Okay, so we did and you did just great, just a few people, but we did a really good job. Thank you very much for attending. So I hope to see the notes of the list of the references in the forum. It will be appreciated and it will be helpful for the community, for most of your classmates, and for the instructor, and for the extra credit grading. Okay, we're done. Thank you again, and see you asynchronously on the forum, and occasionally, if you will need it, contact me through the private messages with the private issues. All the other questions must be posted to the forum. All the other questions related to math, related to navigation, over and through the website, related to any test policies, whatever related to the class, except really personal issues and circumstances you want to report privately, then use private messages. How to send private message, how, what, where. So thank you for attending. Just a few people, but you're the best. And thank you for attending and thank you for your help. Hope work productively with you. Count on your help through the whole and short semester, summer semester.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, I'm still here. If you have questions, ask questions.
I just wanted to let you know that my family situation right now is kind of complicated. My grandfather has cancer and we take care of him. And I'm not saying that this is an excuse for anything or that you should expect any late work from me. I just want to say that in the event that this happens, I would like you to have the explanation.
Okay, I got it. I want to say something right away. So you can count on the maximum possible flexibility in such a situation. And I just don't want to forget to mention EW. So in case, in the worst case scenario, please do not just drop the class, or just some people under hard life circumstances, they just stop doing anything, and instead, and they automatically will get bad grades. So in this situation, we need, and I will try to help. I will try to help in this such a situation. I hope it will not be the case, but if it will happen, if you will not be able, because of the circumstances you mentioned, to deal with the all the requirements in this class, then consider EW grade, not just, drop your hands and just forget about it.
Don't worry, I
do
have
not-
no intention of dropping this class.
Okay, good. So and anyway, you have and we have a few, at least a few ways and workarounds. We will have them at least. So in such a case, also send me a private message. If needed, we will schedule face-to-face conversation, something like this one, but in person. So we will try to figure out the solution or response to any possible hardship or problem. Okay?
Thank you so much. Have a nice night.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Well-
thank you.
You're welcome. Goodbye.